Hey, welcome into the WT Insider. I'm your host, Lance Lahnert. Thanks for joining us today. It's always awesome to be down here at WT, and we have one of the stars of West Texas A&M volleyball over the years. Everybody knows her from Hereford as well. She is just 806 sports royalty. Can't thank you enough, Taytum Stow, for joining us today.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right, this is a corny question. You don't have to answer it, but here's my question. You're like 6'2", right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you go a week without being asked how tall you are?
I don't know. Even just like walking through Walmart, I'll hear people whispering, "She's so tall." So that rarely happens.
Did that bother you at first and now not at all?
It did. It actually took me a long time to feel confident in my height, but
stand up.
There, yes.
Yeah. Wear the heels, whatever you have to do.
Yes,
but yeah. I was just curious about that. Yeah. I don't know why we're enamored with tall people so much, but
Yes.
we are. Yeah. Obviously, Tatum, let's start real quick at Hereford. Two-time female athlete of the year. You guys had that great run, like a 30 district game win streak, things like that. But I got to ask you, you probably had a chance to play other sports as well, but when did volleyball find your heart? When did it become your passion?
Yeah, so growing up, I was really into basketball. I did not really like volleyball. My mom would kind of force me to go to the volleyball camps. And there I kind of started to like it. But then I would say around sixth or seventh grade is when I really started to fall in love with it. When you actually start playing, it's like, this is actually pretty fun.
What happened? I mean, just simply the fun, having fun?
Say, and I hate people being all up on me. And that's my position in basketball is all over. So volleyball is like, oh, this is fun, no contact. So that's pretty much
that is
how
pretty
it
cool. Yeah. And then your days at Hereford, it's an impossible question to answer, but what's the highlight there? What do you remember most? Relationships with the girls, coaches, things like that. What do you remember most about that? Because Hereford is an amazing volleyball town, first of all.
Yes, I kind of compare Hereford to WT in the community aspect. The community there is also really great, and the girls, my two best friends are still, we still are in contact from that team. So the girls really made it awesome, and then, just the community. That's really what I remember the most.
That's cool. And then obviously you got some big time looks, you know what I mean? You could have gone, that's well documented, but maybe you don't know, but Tatum could have played D1 at several places, I think including Florida State or somewhere like that, maybe. That's a long way from home.
Yes.
But what came down to the decision, if you don't mind letting us in? What was that about at that time in your life?
Well, so for me, I'm a really big homebody. So WT was kind of perfect. And then part of me did kind of want to get away and just get some more experiences. But once I started talking to Kendra, I just loved Kendra. And then when I came on my visit here, the girls were just amazing. All the facilities here are amazing. In the box, man, just watching a game in the box, it's just electric.
Yeah. So there was really, once you said, this is what I'm doing, it wasn't like, oh, I regret this or.
Not at all.
Yeah, that is very cool. Yeah. All right. We got to talk 2022 national title. You know what I mean? You're right out of the box. You're like, wow. Tell us what that is like for an athlete. The pressure has to be insane. You actually step into one match, and this is for the national championship. I can't imagine that, waking up thinking that.
Yes.
That's the reason you're an elite athlete. But that whole experience, take us into that. What was that like?
Goodness, that was such an amazing experience. Being a freshman, there was a lot of pressure, but our seniors and just the whole team were really good at just keeping us grounded and just reminding us that this is just another game. And I remember I was freaking out the last few points because they had a front row setter. And Kendra was like, do not jump with the front row setter. What do? I jump with the front row setter, they get a kill, and it ties the game up. And I was like, we're not about to lose because of this. That's the one thing I remember from that game. But then me and Emma Becker ended up getting that last block. So it all worked out fine.
That's it all. I love that story. You're like, okay, I messed up.
Yes, gotta redeem myself.
Yeah. Celebrating that. Take us in. What's that like for an athlete and her teammates to celebrate a national championship? Because everybody else, every other volleyball team walked off with a loss except you guys that year.
It almost felt like it wasn't real. We celebrated, we got to the locker room, we're still celebrating. We get back on the bus and it almost felt like we had another game the next day. So it was just kind of surreal. And then we get to Canyon and the whole community is there just to welcome us back. Like, I just can't even explain it. It's just an experience like no other.
Yeah, that is so cool. That is so cool. All right, why? I always ask everybody, why 14? Did somebody just throw you the jersey when you got here? Or did you work it out with somebody or what?
So Terry, when he came in, he's very, I don't want to say OCD, but he's pretty much OCD.
Okay.
So he likes his numbers, like 1 through 3 are smalls, 4 through whatever are mediums. And I was 4. I'm not fitting in a medium.
Yeah.
So I just picked number 14 because it had a 4 in it.
Because you had a 4 in it. Because that was your number.
Yes.
Yeah. Why 4 though? Was that special to you for some reason?
That wasn't. That was just a random number.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're really not a number.
No,
okay.
I'm not.
Now some of your teammates, yeah.
Yeah, some of them are. But
and that's okay. I don't mind that at all. Yeah. Yeah. But they really want that number, don't they? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Terry complimented you, Coach Gamble, on this year becoming a little more vocal. Now, he wasn't here in the previous, but you were kind of known as the silent assassin. You know what I mean? And that's cool. I have no problem with people. That's the way you show your display. But take us in a little bit of the vocal change. Was that on purpose? Was that just, hey, it's my last year, I want to talk more? I don't know.
Yeah.
What happened?
I think that just comes with a little more confidence. Like freshman year, I just didn't feel like it was even Kendra would try to get me to be more vocal. But I was like, I just don't feel like it's really my place. But now I think I'm a little wiser and I know what's going on sometimes. So I can speak up a little more.
Do you enjoy helping like a freshman or a sophomore who's feeling it and you just got to try to help them get through it because you have been there?
Yes, I do. I think that's more my style. I'm not more in the team huddle speaking out. I'm more of one-on-one. So I think that's what I enjoy more. Yeah,
that's cool. That's very cool. All right. Tatum's not going to brag on herself, but I mean, the list of awards, like we would be here till we have a deadline anyway. We have time. I would be able to waste all of the rest of our time with your awards. Starting 2-time Female Athlete of the Year at Hereford. You can go to Lone Star Conference Defensive Player of the Year, All-American, honorable mention, all these awards. What do awards mean to you?
They are just such a blessing. It just kind of helps me know that I'm on God's plan and that he has me exactly where he needs me to be.
And I teased you about it before we started today, but I mean, you could fill a pretty sweet, as they call a man cave, woman's cave, whatever, with these awards, I'm sure.
Yes.
So where is everything?
I actually put them with my parents in Hereford because I don't trust them with me. So they end up putting them in we have this huge box and it just goes under my bed.
Okay.
So, yes.
Like the trophies and everything?
Yes,
the plaques?
Some of them are just sitting around in my room, but most of it's in that box.
Now, one day we're going to get some shadow boxes.
That's the plan.
Okay. All right. I like that. Yeah. Tatum, best thing might be that national championship, but might be when you're the first block, first kill you ever got. But what is your best memory on a volleyball court? What happened that day?
Oh my goodness. There's just too many to pick from.
Okay.
Honestly, this is so silly, but I think back to the national championship and there's a video when we win and everyone's running to the dog pile and Lindsay Buller just trips. Like, it's just little stuff like that I just love. Like, not even volleyball related, just the little silly things like that.
No, I love that. All right, hey, fair or not, you've been through a couple of coaching changes here. It happens. Kendra, obviously, we know she went down to Arizona doing a great job there. Then you get, last a year, and now you got a new coach this year. As an athlete, can you let us know how'd you guys handle that, if you don't mind? Because it's about a 16-month period. You had 3 different voices to have to try to please.
Yes. Yeah, it's a little difficult, but I think we were very blessed with the coaches that came in. They were really big on keeping the tradition of WT, which was the biggest thing for us, really. But it's really just accepting them and their way of how they do things and then kind of just rolling with it, like just trusting the process.
Yeah. And they're all way different?
They're all really different. They're different in some ways, but I would say, just accepting their differences and just learning how to
You've had a lot of coaches that are motivational. Some of them love to yell.
Yes.
Some of them like to, strategize. They're way better like before the match than during it.
Yeah.
So you guys just kind of learn from that. And I mean, do you guys physically get together and say, hey, look, we've got to handle this? You know what I mean?
Yes.
The players have to handle this some way, somehow.
Yes. In the beginning of the season when Terry got here, we kind of just told them he's going to be different from what you were expecting, but it's going to be okay, and he's going to be great. It's going to work out amazing. So.
Yeah, speaking of the season, 21-5, 13-2 in the LSC. Things are rolling along. Finish on the road at Cameron in Oklahoma City, you know what I mean? So take us in. How's the year gone?
This year I feel like has had a lot of ups and downs. I feel like we play really good some days, and then some days we're just kind of flat. So I think we're finally over that hump, and postseason is just the most fun thing ever. And I can't wait for all the freshmen to experience that. But I think that we're grinding, and we're going to be ready for it.
Yeah, postseason is the most fun. I love that. Why?
So competitive. Okay. Everybody just wakes up and they don't want their season to end. So it's like games, even like games that you shouldn't win, it's really just whoever's the most gritty.
Yeah, and you kind of know the end. All right, don't want to get sentimental or anything, but this is it. You know what I mean? Are you feeling that? The sense of urgency, the looking around like this is the last time I'll be at Cameron, things like that?
Yeah.
How's that been for a senior, if you don't mind?
It's been pretty difficult, like especially senior night. I was like, man, this is my last time playing at the box. But it's also just really fun. I wanted to leave a legacy here, and I think that our whole freshman group had just done a good job with that, and just to finish it off how we want it to be.
We're not all blessed with great parents. We all know you are, though. Okay, let's tell it like it is. Anybody who's met your parents, they're just insanely cool, and very supportive and all that. Let's give them a shout out. What have they meant to your career?
Oh my goodness. I wouldn't be here without them, honestly. They've just supported me through everything, even the hard days. I'm just glad that they see me as more than a volleyball player. Like, I'm just their daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just their daughter who happens to play volleyball. And I love that I can go home and it can just be regular talking, not about volleyball or how I did this weekend. So it's like this stuff like that.
All right. Blocks record. We got to talk about one of those records. This is a historic program, and you own the blocks record. Something special for you on that individual block that set it? Did you just feel different? Was it cool or? Well,
okay. So the solo block record, I had no idea I was even close to that.
Oh, okay.
So when he said that, I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. So since freshman year, I did not think I was going to play. So when I started playing and I had a pretty good season, I was like, okay, I might have a chance to break this record. Let's set a goal for myself.
Yeah, cool.
So then throughout the years, just kept getting higher, closer and closer. And then my mom, I personally didn't want to know where I was at because I didn't want to be thinking about it. So My mom was keeping track, and I got that last block, and she made a little poster for me, and she was waving it in the stands. So that was really sweet.
That is awesome, man. I didn't even know that. That's cool. Hey, we do a little thing. We got to hop out of here. Can't thank Taytum, so she's got to get to class. Yes. What class are we going to?
Sociology.
Fun, like it?
I like it. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, get a little philosophical there. Yeah. Real quick, we do a Furious Four here on the WT Insider. Big dogs or little dogs?
Oh, so I have 2 pugs at home, but I have a big dog that I own, so I have to say both.
Okay. Phone calls or text messages?
Text messages.
If I could give you 2 tickets to any sporting event ever held, like when man started to now, you know what I mean? Any sport too.
Goodness.
Mine would be the 1980 U.S. Hockey Olympics when USA beat Russia, at a little arena in Lake Placid. It was just such a historic game. But what would yours be?
I would definitely want to see a Nebraska volleyball game. And then if you could take me back to 6th, 7th grade, I'm not sure the exact year, but when Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, all them were on the team, I'd want to watch one of those games.
I like that. And our last one, on a scale of 1 to 10, Taytum Stow, how, with 10 being the best, how good are you at keeping a secret?
I would say 10.
I would.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping secrets.
All right. Hey, I love that. Thank you so much. Good luck the rest of the way. We appreciate the insight today.
Of course. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, let's hop out of here. We got more coming on. I'm Lance Lahnert, and this is the WT Insider.
WT Insider is brought to you by HTeaO, located at 504 23rd Street in Canyon. HTeaO is a proud supporter of West Texas A&M Athletics.
Welcome to the WT Insider. I'm your host, Lance Lahnert. Thank you for joining us. We love the feedback you guys have been giving us. And today we have Zach Daniel on. He's the, man, you got all these titles.
I
you know what I mean?
Yes,
so is your card this long? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Head cross country and then assistant track.
Men's and women's.
Yep.
Assistant track.
Yep. Indoor and outdoor distance.
Yeah.
Yep.
What let's start it off. Most people who run that long distance think they're crazy. You know what I mean? And what's wrong with a person who wants to, run a long distance? But so when did that find your heart, Zach? When did distance running? I know you grew up in Crane, right?
Yeah.
And was it back there?
It was, yeah. So like most people that find themselves in the sport, it's either you get drug in by a friend, or you just want to hang out with people, or maybe you're not good at any other sport. And for me, it was my brother. So I have a twin brother that I grew up with.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
And
we identical?
Identical.
My gosh. Yeah. We have to visit about this.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, go ahead.
Yeah, so he started running cross country in the 7th grade. Of course, chasing a girl. So the girl was doing it, so he wanted to do it. So he talked me into it, and I found out that I had a talent for it, call it what it is, right? Especially for the area I grew up in. And I just kind of latched onto it ever since then. So by the time I was a sophomore in high school, I dropped every other sport and just really focused on distance running, and didn't ever think about coaching or anything of that aspect. I wanted to be a physical therapist for as long as I can remember. And then I got here to West Texas. I really developed a great relationship with my coach, Darren Flowers at the time, and kind of left
the singer.
The singer, yes, Ryan Wolf now, yeah. So I had a great relationship with him, and always loved. Always loved like human performance.
So did your twin brother get the same love for the running? I mean, did you guys do this all the time through high school?
We did, yeah. So he started to take more of a strength and conditioning background when we got to college. So he's actually a strength and conditioning coach now for the Air Force.
Oh wow, I love that, man. I love that. Obviously, Zach has some individual accomplishments, you know what I mean? But real quick on this twin thing, you got to let us know what is. I mean, you didn't know anything different, obviously.
Exactly.
But what's it like? I mean, once you see each other every day, for 18 years. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, you kind of split, in your 20s or whatever.
Right.
Well, what's that like for a twin?
Yeah, and it's kind of like you said, I've never known anything different.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my answer when I tell people. But no, obviously, I mean, he's my best friend.
Yeah.
I talk to him every day.
Yeah. Still?
That
is cool.
Talk to him every day. Actually talked to him this morning a little bit. And he has more of like a physical therapy background too. So he helps me a lot. And
like where an athlete might be.
Exactly.
Let's do this.
And we both have this love for human performance. So he has a lot of people that he trains in the Air Force that need to pass a PT test or whatever, the running side of it. So I help him as well. So
did you ever do the switcheroo on a
when we were
teacher?
Young, when we were very young.
Or a girlfriend?
Not a girlfriend.
Okay.
Teachers, teachers.
Did you pull it off?
We did not. No.
What happened?
I think just being too honest.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be me. That would be me.
Difficult. So.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, just back from regionals. Each team 5th. Now, at this taping, we've got to wait on the the call. Mm-hmm. First of all, take us in. Were you happy with the regionals? Wanted to see a little different results.
Yeah.
What would you think?
Yeah, it's always. You always reflect back and think that things probably could have gone a little better, but, I always try to walk the same path that I talk to about our athletes. And that's, on the day, things aren't always going to align. Things aren't always going to be perfect. And we had some people have really rough days. We had some things not go our ways. But on the opposite end of that, we had some people really step up, and I think that's where the team aspect of things comes into this. So, I was happy with our results. It's tough going against the RMAC, and you're going up to altitude, and they're coming down. And so 5th.
Sand dunes over at Alamosa, yeah.
So 5th in that region, to me, when I first got to WT, I would have been pumped with that result.
Okay.
So the fact that, maybe we're sitting here a little disappointed and think that we could have done a little better, I just think it speaks volumes to our programs.
The level, yeah.
And I'm confident, when we, for example, our women were 5th last year, then we go to the national meet 2 weeks later, we're 2nd.
Yeah.
So, I think just conditions, going up to altitude, facing the RMAC there, we're going to be really happy with where we end up here in a couple of weeks if we
tell our viewers how the next step works, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
because it's time.
Yeah. So
and you peak towards regionals, or you peak towards this one.
So we really set up the training with full intentions of making the national meet, right? So really. Don't get me wrong, we kind of taper a little bit for the regional meet because we need to have a good showing. But from here into the national meet, we really aren't going to do any tough workouts. Like, well, don't get me wrong, we're still going to run. We'll run a lot, but
when you say we're still going to run, what's a low mileage week for these elite athletes?
Yeah, so if we have somebody that's maybe running 80 miles a week,
80. Did you hear that? 80 miles a week. Yeah.
We may have somebody that's going to run 60 this week.
Yeah. Okay.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
So when you're used to running really high volume year round, if you go from 80 to 20, you're going to feel really flat and you're going to feel off. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So you still need some volume.
You still need some volume.
Yeah.
It's just the intensity of the workouts, that we do will definitely come down quite a bit.
What are you expecting there at nationals?
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
I think our women, I think we have enough depth up front that we could podium for sure. So top 4. And our men as well. Like, we have some low sticks. Like, Adrian Legaretta is running great right now. Freona Kidd, Texas Panhandle.
Amen.
And Matisse Borst is another one that I think could, both of those guys could be in the top 30. I think Adrian could for sure be top 10. He was 10th last year. So, and then if you just have one more low stake, I mean, you're talking about a men's team that could potentially podium as well. So, and
let's give you props. We're going straight to the big time, but Lone Star Conference, you're still the dominant force in that. What was it? 13 in a row, and then I think 4 for the women.
Yeah.
How proud of you are that, or pleased with them continuing that tradition?
Yeah. Well, that men's tradition.
Because that would be a year for some people,
right?
Winning the LSC.
Yeah. So that men's tradition actually started when it was my first year as a student athlete here at West Texas.
Cool.
But so for that to, just be the test of time, and 3 different coaches and a lot of different athletes, obviously. Again, I think it just speaks to the area and the athlete we're able to recruit here. And then obviously Coach Stewart's been here the whole time. He's done a great job as director now. I'm really, really happy that our athletes are able to show up on that day and keep performing on that day.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see as a coach and very rewarding.
We'll talk about the recruiting in a second, but when you have to change hats to assistant coach, in the spring, is that kind of nice? Not as much paperwork, not as much, all the have to worry about the bedroom, everything, you know what I mean? And you can just literally coach as an assistant. I bet you're a valuable asset to him that way.
Yeah. So track is definitely, and cross country, a lot of the times I feel like, hey, how we do or how we don't do, like a lot of the times, I'll take full blame and full responsibility for that. And I always tell the kids, like, if things are going good, that's you. If things are going bad, it's me.
That's cool.
I
get it. Yeah.
And so in track, there's definitely a little bit of that still. I feel responsible for the way that my athletes compete at a national meet or, at a conference meet. But full program view, I know Coach Stewart carries a lot of that weight. Yeah. And so there is a bit of relief off my shoulders in the spring.
Totally different. If you don't mind, Zach, explain to us the philosophy of a cross-country runner to a long distance, like you're running a mile or a 2 mile, with people around you constantly.
Yeah.
Both are strategy races, I get it, but they're completely different styles, aren't they?
They are.
How yeah. People know it's not just running, you know what I mean? Can you take us into that, if you don't mind briefly?
Yeah. I feel like cross country is a lot more about intuition and the feeling of things, because, on a track, you can give somebody a 400 meter split, you can give them a kilometer split, and in cross country, those things don't really matter that much. I mean, of course, I can sit at the mile on a course and yell a split.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're at altitude, if it's uphill, if the grass is really thick, there's so many different things that play into that. So I feel like cross country is a lot more raw in the sense that you just have to feel things out.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I really love it. That's something that I try to preach to people is you should understand how things should feel when it comes to pacing and effort, and you should be able to really ride this razor's edge, over 6K or 10K.
And the terrain, you know what I mean? You're running on, it's not smooth.
Yeah, no, it's not. And again, that's where like the feeling comes in,
Weather conditions sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting, yeah. And then when you're on the track, is it strictly we got to hit this, if we want to win this race?
Yeah, I mean, that definitely plays a bigger part. So like the athletes are, if we're always chasing national marks, we know what the time is to hit that national mark. Yeah. So when I'm giving an athlete feedback in the middle of the race and I give them a K or a 2K or a 3K splits, they know what that means, right? Even if we don't explicitly talk about it before, they understand where they're at and maybe what they need to do.
And you pinpoint the runner sometimes in that race. Like,
exactly.
Hey, let's hang with him, or let's bury him early, or strategy.
Right. Yes, sir.
Talking strategy a little bit. Are some runners into that strategy and some, I don't even want to hear it. I just want to go run, coach.
Yeah. And there's a lot of different personalities. Like as a distance runner, I mean, you're always a little crazy for one into this sport.
yeah.
But that's where the coaching comes in, is you have to speak with a race, the exact same race, with one individual one way, and then turn around and speak to another individual completely different.
Yeah. It's amazing to think about that, because we don't really think about strategy and racing.
Yeah.
You know, the average fan, hey, that person was fast, that person was faster.
Right.
But it's not that way at all.
Never.
Yeah. Hey, I got to ask you as well, all your track you've been involved in, high school, now, what's the best moment you've ever felt like running on or in a track event or a cross country event?
Coaching or running?
Either one. Like one that just really, like, that was pretty cool for me. Like, I ran a marathon, 3 hours, 18 minutes, 5 seconds. Okay. Not great, not terrible. But Boston was 3 hours that time. You had to run 3 hours. I missed it by 18 minutes, so I was crushed, okay? But that was my moment in the sun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you have a moment in the sun?
Yeah. For me, I think the one that sticks out in my head is definitely from a coaching aspect. And it was my second year here in cross country. And it was the first time that we'd podiumed at a national meet in cross country. Our men were fourth, our women were sixth. So, we were right there. But just for this program meant a lot to me. And, I was here for 4.5 years, and then to come back, and I never thought we'd be able to get it to a level where we were on the podium.
On that podium at a national.
And we were fourth. It's not even like we won, but I just remember having a moment with myself and just being really proud of our athletes and the institution. And
you saw them from day one, how hard they were. Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that. I like that one, Everybody's a little different with that, you know what I mean? We just had Taytum Stow on, and she remembers one of her teammates tripping as they're trying to celebrate, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And she has all these historic events, but as she's trying to join the huddle, she sees her tripping, stuff like that. I love that. So, hey, we got to get you out of here. So you're busy. We do a Furious 4 here on the W Insider. It's not furious at all. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
By the way, what's your twin brother's name?
Josh.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Okay. All right. Josh, that doesn't really.
I don't know where it came from. Yeah.
Okay. Just curious.
Yes, sir.
I thought it might be. I don't know what it'd be, but big dogs or little dogs?
Ooh, big dogs.
Phone calls or text messages?
Phone calls.
If I could give you 2 tickets to any event in the history of sports, any sport, okay, from the beginning of time to right now, what would you use those 2 tickets to go attend?
My favorite sports movie is Miracle, so I'd like to see that hockey game.
You know what? That's mine, believe it or not.
Okay.
1980 USA, Lake Placid, USA, Russia. I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot. So that speech is unreal.
I know. Yeah.
I'm trying to memorize it to like a trick with somebody. Hey, I know I can do that speech. But and finally, thank you for joining us, Zach Daniel. He's the WT cross country coach. Here's the question: scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best. How good are you at keeping a secret?
Ooh. I'll give you a solid 7.
Okay. I like a solid 7. Okay. Hope you enjoyed it. We can't thank you enough for all the work you put into a sport that doesn't get the love as other sports.
Yes, sir.
But anybody who's ever been involved with it knows how hard they work. As hard as anybody.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So, Hey, let's hop out of here. Thanks for joining us today on the WT Insider. I'm Lance Lahnert. We'll be back soon when I see you.